Well, here in the border city, the Filipino community is coming together to help loved ones and those affected. Anna Stanislaw reports.
I've been in Canada for just 6 years, and I can see the abundance that we are all enjoying here as compared to our country, and it's just unthinkable that a calamity such as this would happen in a country which is already poor to begin with.
It's an emotional time for Wendy Yap. Her husband is in the Philippines. She's been in contact with him and fortunately is not in the worst hit areas. But she says the situation has become dire.
There's a lot of people who have not even eaten for the past 5-6 days ever since the typhoon happened. There was even a lot of looting in the commercial areas, like in the groceries, because of hunger.
Wendy's store, Asia's Finest, has been accepting donations and shipping them on a weekly basis to the Philippines. And Wendy isn't the only one trying to help. A Lloydminster resident's family was directly affected. She wasn't able to speak with us today, too overwhelmed by the situation.
One of our personal assistants with Sun Life, her family was affected by this typhoon. Actually, her family was able to evacuate in the higher part of the area, but it was still affected by the water. And good thing that they know how to swim, so they swim all the time, because even that highest part was affected. And after that, they have to walk 4 hours in order to get communication with their relatives in Manila or abroad.
Cynthia's family has not eaten for 4 days, and she was only able to hear from them yesterday. They live in Legazpi City, one of the islands hit by Typhoon Haiyan. Joem is currently accepting donations, and she says no amount is too small.
$1 here is 42 pesos back home. So your $1 is 42 pesos back home. It's already a 1 kilo of rice.
She adds the donations will not be for Cynthia's family, as Cynthia has already sent money back home, but for her neighbors and the rest of the community.
We will send those donations directly to them, and it's for the family of Cynthia to disseminate or to give away those donations that we receive.
Just so unfortunate that this has to happen as Christmas is fast approaching.
Anna Stanislaw, Newcap News.
Now, if you would like to donate, some of the most needed items include canned food, bottled water, toiletries, and blankets, to name a few. Now, you're asked to wrap donations in gently used blankets or towels to avoid use of plastic bags. Now, you could also drop off donations at Asia's Finest or call 306-825-5400. And also, you can drop off donations at the Sun Life Financial Building. You can call Joem Weinkoff at 780-872-7722 for more information. Well, there are a lot of things to consider when planning a vacation, from flights and hotel rentals to travel insurance. It can be quite costly at the end of the day. But what happens when you have to end your trip early? Well, one area family learned the hard way. The Schaefers were on a European trip this summer when a death in the family brought them back to the Lloydminster area early. Now their car rental company is leaving them on the hook for a bill they say isn't fair. Bart Petiesic has the story.
It's something we'd always talked about, going back to the original farm where my father came from, to take a look, and we decided we should do it now while everybody's still healthy.
The Schaefers planned their recent European vacation for more than a year. Starting in Germany, the couple from Makwa were accompanied by their 3 daughters. They chose to rent a car while they were there.
We looked into touring around. We at first thought maybe flying or taking a train, but 5 people in a family, that adds up too, and then renting a car gives you a little more freedom, where to go, where to stop.
Renting the car for 25 days, it was going to cost them more than $1,500 Canadian. They picked it up in Munich and were set to drop it off in Dusseldorf at the end of their trip. But the vacation ended early for the Schaefers. On July 28th, they received word that their niece Naomi Salas Schaefer lost her life in a tragic crash south of Lloydminster.
We're just kind of flabbergasted, I guess, so you're upset and what have you. And my father had just flown into Poland the day before, So with that, he was quite tired and what have you, and then we asked Dad, you know, what he wanted to do, and the first thing he said, he wanted to go home.
Immediately, they called their airline and booked a trip back to Canada. After fueling and cleaning up their car, they dropped it off at the rental office in Warsaw. The clerk told them it wouldn't be a problem leaving the car there, but there would be an additional cost. But just how much, they wouldn't find out until they got home.
We were in Lloydminster, and I went to pay for something with my credit card, and it wouldn't go through. So I phoned the bank, and the bank then informed us we had a $10,000 charge.
After a period of back and forth communication, the car rental company has agreed to drop the charges by about 4,000 Canadian dollars. But Ed Schaefer says that's not good enough.
On a matter of principle, it's a tough one to swallow because this just isn't fair. They're trying to get the best of us, and unfortunately, it appears they're in the driver's seat.
Now, Newcap News made a call out to the North American branch of the car rental company in question, but we weren't able to get a response at this time. The Schaefers, in the meantime, say the charge has already gone through on their credit card and are hoping to be reimbursed and only pay the original price they agreed to. They say their recent experience won't stop them from traveling, and they are planning to visit Holland next year. But they say they will read the fine print next time they rent a car.
Nobody wants this to happen, right? So you protect yourself as much as you can, but ultimately, it's in a situation like this, it's pretty tough.
Bart Pediasek, Newcap News.